Yo, what up? Doing a video today on the cost of living driving the elderly back into the workforce, right? It's not just happening in Canada. It looks like it's happening all over. It looks like it's happening in North America. It looks to be happening maybe even globally, like internationally. But it's not just happening to like regular dudes and dudettes. Okay, it's happening to everyone. I mean, in fact, there's all sorts of like news articles and videos circulating about how Jim Carrey, it's like this huge phenomenon. Apparently, that now he's come out of retirement. He only retired like 2 years ago, from what I recall. I remember thinking it was quite strange. He announced this after Sonic the Hedgehog 2. He did some interviews and he said, like, I'm going to paraphrase him again here, but I was reading an interview with him, and basically the idea was that unless a script written in gold ink came to him that he felt was imperative that the masses see, that he participate in, that it was like basically sent from the heavens, he wasn't interested. I mean, it turns out he did a little bit too much shopping, I think. I mean, he's a bit of a kidder. He's a joker, so who knows? Maybe he's just being sarcastic, but he's saying that he's back in the biz because he's out of money or running low on money. Did a little too much shopping, according to one of the articles I read. He has a lot of property. He has a lot of assets. He could liquefy them, but who knows? I mean, in the same article, I remember reading about another actor, Andy Garcia. So for those of you that know Andy Garcia, and according to him, by the mid-'80s, he'd been burnt out by Hollywood, didn't want to act anymore, just wanted to like take it easy and step out of the limelight. He did it. He left for a little bit, but very shortly, he realized that he was like looking at about $90K left in his bank account, total assets. He had to go back to work, right? Like he had nothing. All those years in Hollywood. They make a lot of money, but the lifestyle that they lead, they got to pay for security. They can't take like a normal like flight like you and I. It's not like they grab like a coach ticket. Although, mind you, Nick Nolte apparently was flying coach for a little while there. Maybe he still is. This is in recent years. Or not Nick Nolte, sorry, Nicolas Cage. I'm saying Nick Nolte. Nicolas Cage, yeah, because Nicolas Cage had a bunch of like financial kerfuffles, including a bankruptcy, right? And that's why he's doing all these movies. That's why like every time you turn around, there's a Nicolas Cage movie. Sorry, not Nick Nolte. Although Nick Nolte is back making movies. Side note. Regardless, maybe, I mean, he has a young daughter. He stars in one of those movies, so maybe he also needed the money. But, I mean, I was reading about Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford is still pumping out these Indiana Jones movies. It looks like he's living a pretty good lifestyle too, but I mean, it's got to be expensive to date and get involved with women that are super much younger than you, which he has a history of, and all of these Hollywood dudes do. Like, I'm sure that these women are interested in them because they are nice people, but there's probably also got to be something said for the fact that they're wealthy, right? Like personality, bank account. I wonder which one is like the bigger mitigating factor there. So besides like the famous people, there's articles here I'm finding from cbc.ca where they're talking about how the cost of living in Canada is driving seniors to return to the workforce. So this video here, which I watched the other day, it talks about that. It's saying that it focuses primarily on BC, but I know that this is happening around here. When I go into like Walmarts or I go into the grocery stores, if it's not a temporary foreign worker type looking person or a student, international student type person, it's usually a very old Caucasian person. Like, I don't even know what to say, but like it's true. I hate to say it. Like, it just sounds so weird that even like race would come into play here, but it does seem to. But a bunch of like old white folks seem to be stocking shelves at Walmarts and stuff like that. I mean, how can an entire generation of people be in the same position? Like, how could the entire generation make the same financial mistakes? This applies to America too. The vast majority of elderly Americans do not have adequate money to retire. Did they all make the same mistakes? Did they all budget poorly? Like really, like it's something like 80-something% do not have adequate means to safely retire. That means that they either all screwed up or there's something wrong with the system, right? Like, I mean, for many of these people, I think, like, you know, they mention, again, like, boredom. That's also a factor. You know, we're living longer, we have medicine, healthcare, extending lives. Like, people did not live anywhere near as long as what we do, even like a handful of decades ago. So it costs more to live. It becomes tedious to live and like just sit around and stare at the wall. As much as people talk about like being a bum and being unemployed being so great, like, and you probably love it, no, nobody likes this. There's a very small proportion of people that actually like not having some kind of challenge daily, something that actually makes their brains work, right? People like that. It's a motivating factor to get up and get out of bed in the morning. Otherwise, what's the point in getting up? So, I mean, it's, you know, people want to have a meaningful job. They want to feel like they're contributing to their community. They want to feel like they still matter, right? So I don't know how to explain it, but according to what I'm reading here, though, you know, it's saying that 1 in 4 seniors right now is earning less than $23,000 Canadian. That's in BC. Like I said, this focuses on BC. I mean, never mind the sitting around and being bored. You really can't live off of that, right? So how do they do it? I guess they have multiple jobs, because 23,000 falls below before the province's poverty line. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Like, again, I'm surrounded by it. I see it all the time. People that you would think would be retired, but they aren't. And what happens when people don't retire? Well, it means that they keep going. It means that they keep holding on to their position. There is, in effect, a trickle-down problem with that, where, like, new people don't get opportunities. If other people don't leave the jobs and give them up, then you can't ascend into a new role. So it actually creates a trickle-down problem in the workplace of stagnation. Again, I've mentioned this before as part of my lived experience. So a lot of this channel is gonna dip into my lived experience, which for some reason some people can't seem to handle. But the reality is that I can only tell you what I've been through, right? And when I see real life examples of it in the news, and I've lived things that mirror that, or are parallel to it, or resemble it in some way, I can't help but make the connection and mention it. And yeah, regardless, I'm going to let you guys go. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit whatever, pass the videos along, and I don't know, take care of yourselves. Check out the membership and check out the other various links. There's t-shirts and hoodies for sale. I really honestly hate selling this kind of stuff all the time, but it's all there, so I figure I better mention it. Thanks for watching the video if you made it this far. Take care of yourselves. Woj out.